A lot of people, I think, seem to feel that sometimes property investment, if they would get involved in the property market themselves directly, that it can be a bit of a hassle, a bit too hard, maybe a second job, and you really don't need that. You've got enough on your plate now. A good example of that is a client that I've just had call me around about 6 days ago, and he said that he had to call his property manager 3 times in 1 week. And he was saying to me that him and his wife kind of had enough, and they thought, it's too much hassle, we're going to get out, and thinking about selling the property. And I said, yeah, you've only called your property manager 3 times this week. I said, I don't expect you to do that every week, of course, but sometimes things like that happen. And I said, how much has your property gone up in the last 2 years? He's been investing, he bought a property 2 years ago, pretty much to the day. And he said, oh, I don't know. I said, I don't know how much it's gone up. And I said, well, let me check it out and I'll get back to you. So I just did a little bit of analysis and just had another phone call with him. And it turns out that property's gone up around about $60,000, $70,000 in the last 2 years, which has been a very flat market. So that's not a bad result in a flat market. So I said to him, is it worth you taking 2 or 3 phone calls in a week for the sake of making $60,000, $70,000 in value in that property? And he kind of laughed and said, I get what you're saying, and it's probably, probably being a bit silly talking about selling it. And, we had a decent conversation for about 20 minutes or so. And in the end, I just kind of said, don't chop your nose off to spite your face, because a lot of people get in the way of the process of the property growing for them over a period of time. And they let the small things get in the way. So if you think property is going to be a hassle, if you think it's a lot of work, it's not. And you certainly don't have to make 2 or 3 phone calls every single week. It's normally these little things that sometimes you can just let, maybe you're under stress with other things in your life and you let these get in the way, and then you chop off your nose to spite your face because of something small like that. So it's best to know really how the asset that you have invested in is going to return what you want from it, and how it's going to do that over time, and not letting the small things get in your way and not letting that affect the outcome. A lot of people seem to do this. A lot of people get in their own way. You just have to get out of your own way and let this work for you. So this is what I've tried to do with my private clients. It's I hold their hand once they've got into something and make sure they stay in the game as part of what I do. It's very, very, very important. And it's something that I get a lot of joy out of, because down the track, I always get the opportunity to say to them, if you had sold then, look at the difference. These can be huge decisions that people are making, and they make them on a whim. So I've decided that to create a bit of a course I'm working on at the moment, something that can help people understand what it is they're doing around property, learn a little bit more how it can really benefit you. And how easy it is. I mean, it really is super simple. If more people understood this, then more people would do it. I'm absolutely convinced of that. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, then you can register below the video here, and you'll be one of the first to know when I've got this up and running. But it's really about letting you understand how simple it is. I truly believe that property is the easiest way to generate wealth and to replace your income. So if you want to get on board and learn more about that, then just click below the video. But bye for now.